Hi, my name's Ian and welcome back to this Peugeot Partner Microcamper build. In this episode we'll be completing the rest of the build from the previous videos, and we're up to the point now where it's actually going to be going up for sale shortly. So sit back and relax and get yourself a coffee and enjoy the rest of this build. Part of today's job is to put the insulatics, or vapour barrier, whatever you want to call it, around the wheel arch. I've also done it behind these panels as well. So just working on this side at the moment. Got a little bit more to put down this edge here. But, yeah, just thought I'd get that in there today while I can. And then plan is hopefully next task on this side is to carpet this wall. That's the other side now, all vapour barriered in and all around the wheel arch. Just got a little bit more to do just on the side here. The other job I've done today is I've run the 240 hookup cable through now. It's just got a load of extra cable to shove down in there at the moment, but I'll cut that off to the size that I need to when necessary. So yeah, that's the hookup now fitted to the side of the van. It's a magnetic one. That's now the carpet and all the lino now installed. What we're doing now is just cut out the holes where the cable is going to come back through, and yeah, start getting on with putting the cupboard in now and the bed section, and then start working on the wiring after that. This is a kitchen pod now fully installed. The two holes in there are for the 240 volt electrical outlets, which are still to be installed. I've also cut a hole in the top there for the sink, and there's also a hole in there as well to take the tap. And then there's also a hole in the side there to take the communication switches. And inside the cupboard, it's now been screwed all into place. This thing here is actually going to be a stopper for there's going to be two water containers in here, waste and fresh water, and that's basically to stop the thing from moving forward. I might also use a strap. I've also created a central divider here as well on this side, and on the other side here, and we've got a shelf in there as well, so obviously for storing stuff. So the next task now is to fit all the bed frame into position, get all that screwed down, so everything's then not going to go anywhere. The kitchen pod, that's all been screwed down as well. That's now got the 240 volt socket now in place. I've still got to wire it up yet. The sink's now sitting in position. Still got to be fixed in with some Sikaflex, and I'll just put the tap in as well. It's to stay there. There's wiring up and obviously plumbing in as well at the same time. And then got the communication switch there on the other side there. Just done one of the most butt clenching parts of the build is actually drilling a hole through this roof to take the solar gland and getting it in the right place, so I didn't go ripping the headlining out at the same time, but I managed to do it from this side. And the handy thing about these Peugeot Partners, and also the Citroen Berlingo would be the same, is that they have these access points, and I managed to drill the hole through there, so the cable's going to come down through here, and then basically it's going to run along here and then drop down through here and down the back, and then down to obviously below where we've got the electrics. Well, after feeding all these cables all the way through here, at the right game getting them through there, I've now come to realise that they've wired these plugs up that are on my round for the solar panel. I just contacted the seller, and he said, oh yes, there was a batch of these that was wrong, and just to connect it up the other way around, so the black will be the positive and the red will be the negative. I said, well, I'm not happy with that, so he's going to have to send me some new ones. Problem is now, probably going to take 3 or 4 days to get them, and I've got a hole in the roof. So basically, to explain this a bit better, that one, that plug should be that plug, and that plug should be that plug, so they connect onto the solar panel correctly. And these are impossible to get off. Right, just ripped all the wiring back out and just had to put a grommet in there for now, and hopefully when it rains in a couple of days' time it's not going to leak. Just a bit of an update of what I've been on with the last few evenings that I've had a chance to work on the van. I've just made up the outside area now for the bed. This is all going to get carpeted away around the edges of it. Just still waiting for the solar panel cabling to come in, the correct one. The guy said he sent it, so I can't carry on with any more of the the wiring or anything at the moment until that arrives. One thing I did do as well the other day, put some lights in here, so I've got those ones there, one there, and then also another one there, and one down there as well. Sink is just in loose at the moment. Electric's now done for the tap and also the pump. Just in here now is a bit spaghetti junction at the moment, as I said, just waiting for this cabling to come now for the solar panel. So once I get that, I can then tidy up the wiring and get that all complete. Batteries in, made a strap down for that, so that's going absolutely nowhere. But yeah, that's where we've got to at the moment. Just carpeted the 3 panels now, so they're all nicely in. Just made a bit of an inner frame for them, so just on the inside here, it's got an inner frame on the inside of each section there, so when I come to fit them properly I can just screw them back to the frame there, so there's going to be no fixings showing on the outside. Just in the process now of making some closure pieces for these ends here, so I can make it all nice and tidy. And there we are, that's the first one now installed. We can get the other one on the other side done now. That's the second one now installed. All I've got to do now is make the closures for both ends now, and then that'll be able to take then the door that's going to go on this section here, where you can just see the gap there. Just created this section in the middle. It's 2 push button locks that hold it all in position, so to get it out it's just release the 2 locks and just pull the whole panel out rather than having it on a hinge. I thought it'd be a bit too complicated doing that with it, and it's a lot more easy just to pull the panel out and then get what you want to get at and then put it back again. And that's in the section then with the panel removed. Well, the new cables have now arrived, and just double check that the correct plugs are on the correct leads now, so at least I know that's going to connect into the solar panel correctly. Now it's just a case of trying to feed all the wires back down the way I did the other day, which was a bit of a pain in the bum, but I'm sure we'll get there in the end. It's the solar panel now installed on the roof, all working. Anything I've got left to do now is I need to run a supply down to the vehicle battery now, because we've got a dual charger on this, so it'll charge 2 batteries up at the same time. Even when it's turning dusk, I've still got 13.2 volts of charge coming in at the moment. Apologies there for the flickering lights, it's LEDs, it seems to have an effect on camera lenses for some reason, but yeah, we've got the light in there. And I've also put 2 lights down there as well, so when the cupboard doors are open there'll be light shining in there. The seat base isn't quite ready yet. I've got to cut it down a bit. I'm going to also carpet it as well, just to add for a little bit of added soundproofing as well, and then also I've got a piano hinge to fit to it as well, so obviously it will lift up and be accessible. Plus I need to probably drill a couple of holes in it to get your fingers in to be able to pull it up. Just carpeted this back section now. I'm going to get that screwed in position, and before then put in the front section. I was going to do that on piano hinges, but decided actually now that there's probably no need for it, so that's just going to get dropped straight in and it'll just get lifted up afterwards. That's now with the base in place. I've carpeted that now, so it's going to be a bit more soundproof than that, and so it's got a hole in the middle here for just lifting it up when you want to get in and out of it. Also just installed these brackets, and they're going to be for the bed. So when the bed's made up, basically they'll stick out like that, and then the tabletop sits on there like that, and then that one then help to make up the full length of the bed. Obviously we've got cushions to go on top of that, and that's the view then looking right the way through from the end, so it's going to make quite a long bed in the end. When the tabletop's not in use, that's going to sit in here, which is held in at the bottom there by a couple of plastic pieces. Little bracket up there. I've still got a trim piece to put just across the top of where the carpet meets there, because it was difficult just to get the whole thing to join up properly, but so I'm going to put a cover strip on there. That'll deal with that. But yeah, that's where the table's going to stand. Just starting all the trimming up now, really, more than anything. So I've got the trim on the corner of the drawer section there, just put the handle on it as well, and it's got this trim going in there just to excuse this bit that's sticking out. It's just there holding the piece in place while it dries, or the glue lock dries, should I say. So that's those bits there, and down the side here I've got those sections in there. A little bit more tidying up to do. There's a hell of a lot of cleaning up to do in here. The amount of dust and gunge in here is unbelievable. That's just clamped in place as well. It's drying off. And then round the back then, and that's that section there. And again, it's just clamped in place for drying off. At least now with the drawer, I can get it open now quite easily. A little bit of pain, that's fine now. Just fitted the metal section around the top there now, just to close that bit of carpet off around there, and also been giving the place a bit of a hoover up as well, because it was pretty disgusting really, and just getting there. It's just the initial clean to start off with, just to get all the dust and gunge out of it, and then we'll have another damn good one once I get it all finished. Just in the process now of making the blinds for the van. I'm actually using reflectives to do it. That's the front one on the windscreen now, and then just done the two for the side. What I've actually done now is made them slightly oversized, so basically there's that bit on the end there, at least you can grab that, pull it out. There's quite a few little like indentations where you can just like get these things to sort of sit in there, so literally they take a matter of seconds to put them in. So I've just got the side window to do now, and then the front ones. That's now the first side one in on the sliding door. What I've got to do now is replicate that now for this door, and then after that then just got the driver's side to do and this passenger side that I'm stood on now. That's now all the blinds now fully made. So it's daylight outside, so it's obviously a little bit brighter still at the moment, but probably by the time it gets dark it'll make it a lot darker inside. The only one I've got left to do now is the one for the tailgates, which I'll be doing next. And this is the van now in night mode. Excuse the flashy lights, it's LEDs messing about with the camera lens again. This is a view from the blinds from the outside. See the driver's side window okay, the windscreen you can see. Passenger side window, and then when you get down to the black tinted ones you wouldn't even know there's blinds there. And moving around to the back, you can probably just about make out blind in that one. One of the final jobs I'm just doing is giving these wheel trims a bit of a spray up, because they I don't know why, they've just gone a bit manky. I don't know whether it's due to road salt or something like that, but yeah, I've never seen wheel trims go like these ones have. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm masking all these sections up. So here's one I've already prepared. I've got the masking tape all around it now, so I've obviously cut it all the way around it, so when I spray it, all that's going to happen is I'll just get the grey bits all end up being black. And here's one now that I've already sprayed up black. I've still got to remove the tape yet on it, so it'll make it look a lot tidier than what it was. That's one of them now resprayed. I've got a little bit of overspray on there which I will get off with some cutting compound. I'll probably leave it for a few days for the paint to harden off a bit before I start doing anything with that, but yeah, pretty happy with those. That's now the sink all plumbed in and working. All the pipes connected up. It's been tested, got no leaks. Well, the van's finally coming together now. I've just got the upholstery in there now. So that's the daytime mode. This is the camper now in bed mode. So you can obviously move the cushions about how you'd like them. But, basically the bed itself is 6'8" long, which is plenty long enough for most people, unless you're a giant. If you're a giant, I don't think you'd be going in a microcamper. For cooking, we've got this little gas stove for when you're off grid, but also as well with our own camper van we've been experimenting with an induction hob for when we're on site. So obviously that could get plugged in down here, and then obviously be used for that as well. So a quick view of the van from the outside. Now doing it a wash and a polish today. I've been fighting with the rain now. Wheel trims have come up quite nice now. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this build series of this Peugeot Partner Microcamper. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again in the next one. Cheers.